Hi, welcome back to my channel, Me Made Makes. My name's Deb and I make videos on all things bag making. I also host a weekly video on a Tuesday at 8 p.m. called the Bag Makers Society podcast, where I sit down and chat with different members of the bag making community about sewing, fabric, and of course, all things bag making. But today's video is about what I've been up to this week. And of course, it's Friday sews. So this week's seen me complete my second Mia, which is by Bagstock. I think I've shown you this one already in a previous video. So this one I'd made up prior to doing the sew along in the club. So we finished our sew along, and this was the second one that I'd completed. So I was really pleased with how it came out. This was the fabric that I'd used, and I'm pretty sure that this outer fabric was a fabric that came in a bag maker's box, but I might be wrong. If Emma from Studio 77's watching this, she might put me right, but I'm almost certain that this is a fabric that was in a bag maker's box off a little while ago, but I might be wrong. But I can't remember picking it up anywhere, so I'm almost certain that it was. This fabric I'm going to show you in a little bit, because I got it when I went out with some of my friends from the socials that I run. So you'll see this in a little while. I got this from a local quilting shop, and this purse lock is from my website, and all the interface and everything that's in it is from my website too. But yeah, this is a Mia from Bagstock Designs. So yeah, I'm going to show you some fabric that I got. So a few weeks ago, myself and some of the people that come to the socials that I organise had a little run out to Sewcial, which is local to me, and went to visit the Emmanuel's stall that come on a Saturday, because the socials don't run in August because the venue's actually closed in August. So instead of having a social, we go fabric shopping instead. So I got a few things. I am trying to be very, what's the word, mindful about what I'm buying fabric wise at the moment. I do have quite an extensive fabric stash, and as somebody who runs quite a busy bag supply business, I don't actually get a lot of time to sew. The sewing that I do tend to do tends to revolve around my business. I don't get a lot of free time sewing, for want of a better word. So I am kind of trying to be mindful of fabrics that I buy, because I don't get a lot of time to sew just for the sake of sewing. So I don't want to be going and buying fabric just for the sake of building up a stash, although, you know, I do like buying fabrics. But I do tend to buy a lot of the same type of fabrics, so I'm trying to be a bit more careful about what I buy, because I tend to buy a lot of the same type of fabrics and I'm not buying complementary fabrics. So I go and pick out things in my stash, and then I think I haven't got anything to go with that. I haven't got anything complementary. So I did need what I would probably call blenders, because I'm not a particularly plain person. I like bright, I like bold. I do like vinyls. I do tend to go more for plain vinyls. I like plain and classy on the outside and then party on the inside. That's my style. I love seeing other people's makes where there's printed vinyls and colour and but me, that's what I like. So I did need some sort of fabrics that blended, but I didn't want plain. I wanted something a little bit different. So when we were looking around, I came across these, and these were perfect. So just move that out of the way. There was these fabrics here. So they've got sort of a little bit of glitter to them, and they're sort of like a marbly sort of cloud sort of texture print to them. And this one's sort of like a very bright sky blue, and they're sort of like a quilt and weight cotton. I think they're sort of about 45 width, and yeah, so I basically picked up a metre. A metre is my sort of go-to, unless there's not much of it and I absolutely love it, and then I basically go, yeah, I'll have what you've got left. But yeah, so I got a metre of each of these fabrics. So I got this blue, and then I got this sort of very light blue colour. Because what I was trying to think of is fabrics that have already got a moustache that I need plain, but not plain, to blend with. So when I need card slots, when I need pockets, when I need something like I need a bit of an accent to go with it, this was what I was looking for. Or if I wanted a plain lining, you know, if I was doing sort of like maybe something a little bit party on the outside and I needed something plain and to scale it back, this is what I was going for. So I then saw this one, which is a bit more of like a steely grey. So it's got a little bit of blue in it, but it's a bit more grey. And it's all the same sort of design. It's got sparkle in it, but it's not OTT. It's just a little bit party, but it's a bit more scaled back, and I like it. And then this very light grey, but again got a bit sparkle. And then this yellow that I've just shown you in that, and it goes perfectly with this sort of colour. It doesn't look like it goes on the camera, but it's perfect. It goes so well. It picked out the colour in that absolutely perfectly. So yeah, so that yellow, sort of like a kind of, that's totally knocked the colour off in my camera there, do apologise. So yeah, that it's sort of like a mustardy yellow, absolutely gorgeous. And then this green, very Christmassy. So, and I've got so much green in my stash because it is my favourite colour. I absolutely love this one. This was the first one that I saw, and I was like, that's, and then I saw all of the other ones, and I think there was only sort of a sort of cerise pink that I left because I don't really have much sort of pink in my stash. That's not really a colour I would go for. And if I've got anything that's got a bit of pink in it, I've always got other colours that would go with it instead. So yeah, so I picked all of those up, and then I spotted this vinyl, and it's sort of like a really dark like tawny grey. It's really nice, and I've had quite a bit of this from Emmanuel, this sort of brand, and it's got on the back of it is sort of the ones that I've had, that this brand has always had this same backing, and it's got like a print of like an E on it, and all the ones that's the same. I don't know if you remember in a previous vlog my Annette that I did where I hacked it and I recessed the zipper. That beige is it's the same as this. It had that E on the back and it was beautiful to work with, and I wish I knew which this brand was that had this like E stamp. I don't know whether you can actually sort of see that, because if I knew what this brand was, I would watch out for it from other places, and purchase it because it's so nice. So if anybody knows which is this brand with this sort of E stamp and it's got like a circle around it, let me know, because I see other places selling it. So I mean, I buy it from Emmanuel's as well if they have it in, but it's just so nice to work with. It sews beautifully, it turns through nice. The bags that I've made in it wear well, you know, it doesn't crack, it's beautiful, it's just so lovely. So yeah, that was my Emmanuel's stroke Sewcial's haul. But we had a really lovely day. We started off by meeting in somewhere called The Word, which is sort of like a library, obviously The Word. But it's a beautiful building, it's a round building, lots of glass. It was really warm, not great for somebody going through the menopause. Lovely cup of coffee, or cup of tea. Did I have a cup of tea? Anyway, whatever you have, whether it's a cup of coffee, cup of tea, it's always nice. Beautiful scone. They do lovely scones, lovely cakes. It's really reasonably priced. They always have a good selection for people who you know, have to be careful with gluten, dairy, that sort of thing. They've always got really good things going on, like you go in and there's people playing chess, or they have board game competitions going on. There's always something going on in there. They have a really good gift shop. Obviously, I'm you know, from the northeast of England, and that their gift shop is very northeastern orientated. They have things that you know, Geordie or people from South Shields are called sand dancers, and you know, there's sand dancer themes, gifts, and it's just so quirky. It's amazing. There's lots of glass theme things in there, or sea glass. It's fantastic. So if you're ever in the area, go and look out The Word. I'll put a link in the description so you can have a look at it and have a look on Google Maps and see exactly where it is. It's well worth a visit, even just for a cuppa and just go and sit in the building, because it is a really nice building. But we met in there, and then we went and had our little fabric expedition, and then we went and sat and had some lunch in a place called the Harbour Lights Inn, which has lovely views, very nice food, which is very reasonably priced as well. And yeah, it was just really nice little catch up, because obviously with not having our socials for sort of a full sort of 8 weeks or so, it's nice to have a bit of a catch up. But we meet up again 15th of September, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll put a link in the description box down below to the socials, so if you want to join in, you'll be more than welcome. There's usually always spaces. The socials are kept very small, so they're always welcoming. You know, they're never, you know, big, huge events. They're always very small. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description box down below. But the final thing that I've been doing, which is the most exciting thing that I've been doing, is I've made a pair of shoes. So I had attempted my first pair. I'd ordered some soles, not very successfully. Yeah, I'd tried to get someone. I'd been at the Festival of Quilts, and yeah, didn't get any when I was at the Festival of Quilts for one reason or another. And I'd thought I could get some a little bit quicker, and it didn't work. Yeah. And when I downloaded the pattern, obviously the pattern is for leather, and I was wanting to make mine in quilting cotton. So needing to finish the edges, I sort of had to think about how I wanted to do that. So I was thinking, do I add a seam allowance on, or do I bind? And I thought I'm going to bind. So I did the first pair and I bound the edges with bias binding, and I did really like the finished look, and if I can find the pictures on my phone I will insert some pictures, whether it's of the finished shoes or whether it's just of the pattern pieces with the bound edges. And I did really like the finished look, but on hindsight I think the edges would have irritated me, and I'm really funny with edges and irritation. And I thought, and to be fair, it ended up where the soles were actually too small. I ordered what I thought would have been the right size for me, and the sizing was actually, it wasn't worded properly, it was US sizing. So it's like, okay, came away, we'll order some more, um we'll start again. So what I've done this time is I have printed out the different size, and I'll link a description, I'll link the pattern link in the bottom. Is all I did was printed it out and I added the seam allowance on. I just literally went round with a little quilting ruler and added the seam allowance on all the way around. Very, very easy to do. And I thought, right, I'm just gonna go up 2 sizes because they were so small and they've ended up being too big. But it's fine, because do you know what? It's all practice, isn't it? It's just all experience, and hey ho. I've made myself a pair of shoes. Like, I've made a pair of shoes. Like, I never ever thought in a month of Sundays I'd make myself a pair of shoes, and I absolutely love them. Like, I mean, how amazing. Just pull that tongue properly. How amazing are those? So this fabric is Fabric Heaven, and it's so good. I haven't got any more of it left, so I'm a little bit gutted because they are too big. My friend's a size bigger than what I am, so she's going to absolutely love them, and I'm going to be the best friend in the world ever. But yeah, so how cool are them with the faces on them and the funky laces? They're like sort of a pastely rainbow lace, and I have actually got a pair of really bright rainbow laces to give her as well, so she can chop and change them. I have put a leather tag on the back. Changes I would make are I would buy the size in between. So I'm normally 39, so I bought 39 and then was like they were too small, so I was like, I thought they were so small, so I went with 41. I would buy 40. So I think what I would do next time is I would sew this on with my machine rather than hand stitch it on, and I wouldn't punch the holes in as per the pattern. I would literally like machine stitch it on before I hand sewed this in. Any other changes I would make? I think the only other change that I think I would make, and I am the queen of hacking, I hack patterns. I won't leave nothing alone. I am a nightmare. Is I would like this sort of these sides to come further over this. So I think what I would do is I would do the obviously the 40 sole. I would do the 40 pattern, and I would do the 41 in this and see how it turned out. Obviously I might try it in fabric I wasn't precious about first, but I think I would prefer this to come further over because they only just sort of come over. But other than that, like, I absolutely love them. Just putting them the right way so I can show you them both together. They're just absolutely fantastic. But they're so easy to make. The pattern's free on the Sneaker Kit Sneaker EU Kit site. The video on the club I did the other night, I kept saying Sneaker Kit UK and it's Sneaker EU. You can get the soles on there, but obviously you pay the import and postage fees. So obviously if you've got friends who sew and you want to make them all together, you're probably best off collaborating all together, coming together, ordering them together and getting them all shipped to one person and paying all of your like postage fees together. It probably would work out a lot cheaper because you only it's cheaper to ship everything together. So if you're part of a sewing group, like like a social club or something like that, probably a little bit of a cheaper way to do it. But yeah, it is much simpler than what you think it's going to be. You've just got to take your time doing them. They're not, they're not a quick thing to do, but they're a fun thing to do. They're really, really fun. I really, really enjoyed doing them. I've got another set in the planning, like a dark set to do, so I'm looking forward to doing them. So this set, what I did was obviously I added the seam allowance on, so it was right sides together with like a foam in between. Sewed them together, right sides together, turned them through and top stitched, and then obviously they are sewn in here with like the thick proper thread, and then the sole is put in, and and then that is it. There's lots of tutorials online that are aimed with the leather, but once these are then sewn together, turned through and top stitched, you're then just treating them as if they're the leather piece. So it's no different really once they're done that way, if that makes sense. But if anybody's made any, I would love to see them. If you've made any of the shoes, please comment in the comments box down below and let me know how you got on, or if you've made them different how I've kind of described them, and you've got any tips that might make my next set a little bit easier, please do tell me, because anything to make it any easier, I'm all ears. So do please let me know. So yeah, so that's what I've been up to. If you've got any nice plans for the bank holiday, drop a comment in the comments box down below. Let us know what your plans are for the bank holiday. I'm away tomorrow to see my friend, so I might not put this video out until tomorrow, because even though it's a Friday sews, it's actually 10 o'clock at night before I'm actually getting this recorded, because it took me 20 minutes just to get the actual intro recorded. And I don't want to spoil the surprise because I'm going to give them shoes to her tomorrow. So I might schedule it for lunchtime tomorrow. So it's a Friday sews, but it's going out on Saturday. But hey, it's me. Like, it's just how I roll. So yeah, I hope everybody's going to have a really lovely bank holiday. So let us know what your plans are in the comments box down below, whether it's sewing, whether you know, got plans with family. I'd love to hear about it. I don't know what my plans are for next week. I don't actually have any sewing plans planned. I'm just going to kind of see what life throws at me. I've given up making plans because plans go out the window. So yeah, I'm just kind of going to see what happens. So until I see you next, have a lovely week, and I shall see you soon. Bye. Hi, welcome back to my channel, Me Made Makes. My name's Deb and I make videos on all things bag making. I also host a weekly live... Oh, for God's sake, Deb. Hi, welcome back to my channel, Me Made Makes. My name's Deb and I make videos on all things bag making. I also host a weekly live... Oh, for God's sake. Hi, welcome back to my channel, Me Made Makes. My name's Deb and I... Oh, God, Bennett, man! About all things sewing, fabric, and of course, bag making. But today's video is about what I've been up to this week because it's of course Friday sews. So let's get to it. Hallelujah.